So if you've been following us, you've probably heard me talk about the difference between being a rookie, a pro, and a tweener, right? And those are the three classifications of real estate agents. And our goal is to always strive to be a pro. So today, I'm going to give you 4 tips that is going to help you to elevate your real estate career from maybe that rookie status, or maybe you're tweener and you're hoping to get to pro. So these 4 things are going to help elevate our business to become a pro. Number 1, having a massive past client system. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to stay in contact constantly with folks that you have sold homes to, or folks that you're looking to stay in relationship with. Having a massive past client system will help you create touch points throughout the year that will automate that process for you. And it'll make it less daunting, right? The more and more people we add to our past client system, the harder it's going to be to keep that one-to-one relationship. So we have to think about ways that we can scale that process. And so some tips that I constantly give to my agents: take a content calendar, plan out every month of the year what you're going to be providing to your past client or your sphere of influence group of people. And this can be things such as, email market updates or a postcard around the holidays. Maybe you love to do recipes. Maybe you love to do a By Design magazine or American Lifestyle magazine. There's so many different things that you can utilize. But if we don't have it scheduled out, the challenge is going to be that we sit down to try to come up with an idea, and then the next thing we know, 2 weeks have passed and nothing happens. So take some time, the beginning of every year, pencil out what that content calendar looks like, provide it to a peer, maybe an assistant, maybe a family member, and ask them to hold you accountable to fulfilling what you've put on that content calendar, right? And this way, you stay in constant contact with folks that you're trying to build relationships with. And the big thing that we're trying to do here is to continue to stay top of mind. Because when they think about real estate, or when they're in conversations with anyone who's thinking about buying or selling a home, we want that person to think and mention you. So tip number 1, massive past client system. Tip number 2, we need to optimize our online presence. So a big question I have for you is, have you ever Googled yourself? What shows up? Because I guarantee you that any consumer that is going to choose to do business with you is going to Google you. And they may Google you before they even reach out to you or contact you. So it's important that we have a good handle on what that online presence looks like. Do you have a Google business page? Guess what? They're free. And you know what? The number 1 search engine website is Google. So why wouldn't we have a Google page that's optimized with photos and reviews and other things that the consumer looks at and says, man, this person is a legitimate business? Or what about our social media profiles? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. When was the last time you posted on any of those profiles? It's important, we don't have to post everything, but we do need to show that we're active and engaged across those platforms. What does our website look like? All of these things play a critical role in the impression that the consumer has when they Google you, right? Sometimes everyone says the best way to make a first impression is, we have 30 seconds to do that either in person or over the phone. Well, newsflash, we actually don't have that anymore. Your new first impression is going to be online. So tip number 2, we need to optimize our online presence. Number 3, we got to produce content. We are in an era where content is king, and the consumer spends more time on YouTube than any other platform across the internet. So what are we doing to create content across our platforms? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, pick your poison. Someone is going to speak, you're going to speak to someone across those different platforms. So, some stats I want to share with you. Video content is critical. 403%. That number, that is 403% more inquiries on listings that have video content. That's a huge number, right? And that comes directly from NAR. 73% of homeowners say that they are more likely to list with a real estate agent that utilizes video. And 90% of people discover new brands or products on YouTube. So when we think about the content that we're going to create, maybe you're not ready to jump behind a camera or in front of a camera, but let's think about things that we can do to push out content that will help, again, that'll also reinforce tip number 2, that helps our online presence. I would encourage you, get in front of a camera, right? Show people, heck, this is what you look like. That's what you're going to look like when you show up. So don't be afraid, just be yourself. What you're going to do is you're going to attract like-minded people, and you're going to repel those people who wouldn't ever do business with you. And you know what? That's okay. Attract your tribe and repel the people that you don't want to do business with. Lastly, number 4, we want to invest in education and constantly growing and learning. No industry is undergoing more rapid change than the real estate space. And so we have to constantly be re-educating ourselves on ways that we can better serve our clients, better list properties, better ways to create new content, better ways to procure clients. There's always things evolving and changing. And so if we're not up on the latest and greatest, then we're falling behind, and we're falling behind fast, right? So you hear me talk about it all the time, it's commit to mastery, practice, practice, practice. The more we practice, the better we're going to be when those opportunities present themselves to actually present for a legitimate client or someone that's looking to utilize our services. Join mastermind groups. There's great content and great things we can learn from our peers in the industry. And maybe, there's tons of mastermind groups across social media. Maybe there's in-person mastermind groups that you might want to attend, but ways to learn, ways to give back. And, something that's working for someone that's, out in Colorado might work really well for you here in Central Ohio that no other real estate agent's doing. Or maybe they're trying some new tactic that might help them generate business that you really resonate with, right? So join mastermind groups, attend conventions and conferences. Most of our local associations, most of the bigger brands host fantastic conventions. Leverage those opportunities to network with other real estate agents across the country, learn from industry insiders and other coaches, and talk to vendors and partners who are looking to try to help us as real estate professionals grow and build successful businesses. Lastly, find a mentor or a coach. There's nothing more flattering than for us as real estate agents to be able to help someone else come up in the business, right? Find someone that will take you under their wing, show you the ropes, give you some tips and tricks on ways to make maybe things to do, things not to do, provide you advice, provide you guidance, and just be a sounding board or an ear to listen. So tip number 4, invest in your education. So hopefully you found those tips helpful. If you have any questions or if there's anything we can do to help support you in the growth of your business, please don't hesitate to reach out and stay tuned for more content.